to Matthew chapter 15 and Mark chapter 7, where the scribes literally hid the truth from you to lead you away from the truth and into sin. And they did this by literally not translating the word sin. Okay, there's a big difference between trespass and then sin. Okay, sin causes your failures. Sin causes your trespasses. When you sin, you will be led into confusion and you will be led into failing, okay? Because you are no longer with God. When you sin, then you are separate from God. And I just want you to know there has been perversions in here, and I've went over both the Matthew 15 and the interlinear and the Codex Sinaiticus. And let me tell you what they do. These words are all together. What they do intentionally is they cram words together and make up new words and mistranslate them intentionally to mislead you. Anyway, let me just go. Matthew 15:1. Then, two coming, the Messiah from Jerusalem, Pharisees and scribes, saying, because why the disciples you with coming, not sin, now what is translated as tradition. No, no, no. This is not tradition. This is with, the same with it spells for with God, and this is offering. Okay, this right here stands for offering, and this is sin. Okay, sin. See it? You can even see it spelled right there for you. Notice this and go look at all the places it says tradition. Sometimes it's actually, I think in Peter, it's actually speaking of traditions. Okay, one place in Peter I know for sure, but this is with offering sin, okay? Because why the disciples you with coming not sin? These people are so stupid they don't even recognize that this sin is wrong, but we know it's wrong, okay? Because why the disciples you with, and this is coming not sin, the with offering sin of the elders, not for wash. And notice how this is spelled, because they're going to change this later. It's actually talking about unclean hands that sin, and they're going to mistranslate it. So I'm just going to let you know what's up when that happens. So, not for wash the hands when bread, now look right here, eat sin. They were literally eating sin with their bread. This is the same things they were doing in the Old Testament when it talks about they were making these cakes to the Queen of Heaven. Literally, in that word cake is fish. They were eating fish with their bread, and they were eating sin with their bread. Same thing. Nothing's changed. Okay, still doing the same crap. Okay, this is why Messiah came to reveal what was hidden. This is also why they killed him, because he was exposing the truth. Now check out what the Messiah tells them. They then answering said to them, because why you, not and you, they added that, you, and this is with, like this is like passing the commandments of God on the account of the with offering sin you. What is he talking about? He's talking about them offering the dead. Let's keep going. A lot of this is actually mistranslated, so I don't want to get too much into that, and this is not the subject I'm on. But where it says speaking evil of, this is more like against the word of the Father. And I'm not going to go too much into these because it doesn't have to do with the subject. So I'm going to go past these. Okay. So right here, let's get to the good stuff. And make void the commandments of God on the account of with offering sin you. So they're literally making void the word of God with their sin offerings that they also eat. Hypocrites, rightly prophesied concerning you Isaiah, saying, pay attention, this is so foretelling right here. The people this with lips sin. They hid that, and you can go check. What I do is I go check all this. Okay, it took me a long, like literally studying hours and hours and hours, days and days and days to see this. The people this with lips sin me, honor thee then, heart of them. They're not honoring God, they're honoring their own heart. Far away, kept from me. And first of all, if you continue to sin, God is far away from you. You don't have to want to be far away from Him. When you continue to do the things over and over again He tells you not to do, He is far away from you. You must repent. You must be willing to give up everything. If there's one thing that you're not willing to give up, He will blind you. Let's keep going. And a lot of it is food. Food will be the only thing for a lot of people. In vain, then worship me, teaching the doctrines, the precepts of men. That's what people are doing right now. Don't know the difference because they truly don't know Him. If you know Him, you'll know His word and you'll understand it. Most people don't know Him. Now, even His own disciples and apostles that were with Him at the time, He said to them, have you been with me this long and still don't know me? A lot of them did not even truly know Him until after He was gone and they got old, like Peter. Okay? So for those that don't know Him yet, I'm not saying that you'll never know Him. It's a process. You have to keep digging and you have to obey and you have to keep the commandments to the best of your ability. If there's one thing that you know in your heart you're not willing to give up, that can keep you blind. And most of the time, you can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to Him. Okay? He said not to eat the dead. Okay? If you think it's all right to eat a dead animal and you think eating can't defile you, there's no difference in saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter what you put in your mouth that defiles you. Really, if you're a man, go ahead and put another man's penis in your mouth. You know better. Okay? Oh, go put a child's blood in their mouth. You know better. You know sin is what defiles a man. Okay, let's keep going. And having called the crowd, He said to them, hear and understand. Okay. Not the into traveling into the mouth defiles the man, but that, this is like from going out from the mouth, this defiles the man. Now, hold on, look what He says right here. Nowhere does He talk about eating because this is a riddle. It's only for those with ears to hear, and it's even more clear in Mark because Matthew came after Mark, which most people don't know. Then, having come near, the disciples said, don't sin to him. Okay, see that? They hid that. Okay, and just so you don't know, this is the don't. The same place it says don't murder, same exact words. This is sin. Go look it up for yourself. It's so easy to see. Okay, know that the Pharisees, having heard the saying, were offended. They were very offended because they were profiting off the sin the same way they're profiting off the sin now. They are profiting off the murder. They're profiting off stealing the lives of the animals and eating them. Remember, Messiah did not come for those that were without sin. This is why He came to them fishermen first and told them to go destroy their nets. This is why them fish almost got them killed by them trying to fish. But anyways, let me keep going. And the answering said, every plant that not has planted the Father me, heavenly, will be uprooted. Look what He says right here. This is Matthew 15:14. This actually goes here, that actually goes there, and they don't translate is sin right here. But in fact, I'll bring this. This is Matthew 15:14. I'm gonna bring this up in the codex because that's how I found out what it was distorted. So it's leave them, guides is actually here, is sin, and then blind. So if they're sinning or if sin, they're blind. This actually can be translated is and if. So I'm not 100% sure what the true translation is right here. This is either is sin or if sin, blind. Blind, then blind, if guide. And this is, they translate both, but it's really like them all into the pit will fall. Okay? So leave them guides if sin, blind. Blind them blind if guide, them all into the pit will fall. If they're still sinning, if they're still eating sin, leave them alone. They are blind. Now let's continue. Answering then, Peter said to him, explain us the parable. And this is actually, I think, with comparison, or I'm really not 100% sure on. This is with, I'm really not 100% sure on this yet. I'll let you know when I find out. But for right now, I'll just translate it parable. Okay? Something that's been hidden. Okay? And he uses comparisons for us to realize what it means. Okay? Thee then said, still also you without understanding are. So they still didn't understand. And these are his literal apostles, his literal disciples back then, lived with them. In fact, it was also foretold that they wouldn't understand until he left. It was also foretold that they wouldn't stop sinning until he left. I think that's in Luke or John. I'm not sure, but I'll do a video on it. Anyway, not yet. And the reason I say not yet, and it's translated, it's translated, this can be not or don't understand, but this is actually not yet. Matthew 15:17, and I found that out right here. This is not yet. So even though that right here they mistranslated it, they still put the correct thing here. Not yet understand that all the, this is into traveling, into the mouth, into the stomach goes, and into the sewer from cast. Okay? Now, check this out right here, y'all. The then from, this is like coming forth from the mouth, from the heart, come forth, these things defile the man. Okay, now this is what defiles the man. This is 19. Okay, see all that was added? So I'm not going to read all that because it was added. We're just going to start right here. Come forth, where it says thoughts, this is understanding. Evil. Your understanding is evil. You think it's okay to murder and eat animals. Your understanding is evil. Murders, adulteries. Adultery is not just cheating on your husband or wife with someone else. Adultery is going against the law of God. Where it says sexual immorality or fornication, yes, it can be sexual, but it's really idolatry. They pervert these words so you don't know what it means. This is whoredom. You're whoring on God. Okay, when it says that you can't get a divorce except for the cause of fornication, people automatically assume you have to go have sex with somebody. No, your husband or wife can literally be eating flesh and they're committing fornication, idolatry. They hide this from us, okay? Thefts, false testimonies, slanders. These are the things defiling the man. Thee then, this is not unwashed. This is, look here, this is where they trick you. And this is why they don't translate sin right here. This is hand sin. Thee then, this is unclean hand sins and eats. So the unclean hand sin eats. So yes, hand sin eats. Then right here where it says not, this is, remember, this is also don't defile the man. Stop eating sin so you're not defiling yourself. Because when you defile yourself and eat from the dead, you become blind and stupid, and you are defiling your own temple. And I'm going to end that one there. Mark chapter 7 is even more foretelling, and I'll get into that one next. Stay tuned.